Yes, absolutely. And should you wish to entertain us?
Oh, be very careful what you suggest. I could be let loose in a space like this.
I think we'd all be content with the complete works if you want to...
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, starting with what would it be? Something like Titus Andronicus? Yes! An audience full of Titus Andronicus fans. That's very unusual, but it is Los Angeles.
Before we start talking about this incredible season of the show, let's take a look. It's exciting. Patrick, I wonder if I can start by asking you to take us way, way back. When you were first approached about this show, The Next Generation, you couldn't have imagined that we'd be here some 30 plus years later doing this. But I wonder, was there a trepidation to take on the role, or did you immediately see the possibility of Jean-Luc Picard?
In fact, I was advised by people who knew our industry very well that there was little chance of this show, whether I did it or not, being a success. They said, you cannot revive an iconic show like Star Trek with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. You can't do it. So you've been lucky to make it halfway through the first season. So, come to California, get a suntan, eat some good food, maybe meet some girls, with a girl at the time, and for the first time in your life, make some money. Which I never had done. I was a stage actor, you know, and you're just happy to be working, to have a job, and, you know, you can get by. And so based on what I was being advised, you're not going to complete the first season. I said yes. It's one of the smartest things, maybe the smartest thing, except for marrying my American wife, that I have ever done. You know, right now, a lot of people, even backstage here, are asking me, what was it like to be reunited with your friends? Well, I mean, what was it like when you're on the set together, and then you're on the bridge of another starship? And I said, but you don't understand, this wasn't a reunion. We're a family. We're in love with one another, all of us. We see one another continuously. We're having dinner next week. Brent and Jonathan and I will be having dinner, because they are wonderful people. And we are, and I insisted on this from day one, we were an ensemble. There was no star, no leading actor. We were a group, and this show to be a success, I felt, had to be about relationships, not just about who's the most important person in the shot.
I am curious to know, though, you know, when you started doing Picard as a series, whether the idea of this reunion, not a reunion, this on-screen reunion with your Next Generation castmates, whether that was kind of always kind of in the back of your minds. Was that something that you always wanted to do, or how did that come up?
I think it's generally known that at the beginning, one of the conditions, once I'd agreed that I would do the show, was that I did not want it to be a revival of Next Generation. In fact, a reunion of Next Generation. We have told that story. We've told it for 7 years and 4 movies, 4 feature films. It has to be something new and unexpected. And I think it was Akiva Goldsman who said to me, well, what has happened to you, Patrick, in the last 20, 25 years? I get a lot, many changes, many surprises, fights. What has happened to you? Are you the same person? And I'm saying, oh, well, yeah, of course. And no, I'm not the same person. Okay, well, that's what's happened to the crew. The same thing. this was perhaps the most significant thing I was told, because it meant that we could then explore the past 20 years, which nobody ever saw, but it was, for each one of us, it was years of contentment and years of unhappiness and danger and cost and loneliness even in one of our group. And so we had all of that to explore. And it was the background to the narratives that we were telling. So we would have the storyline, but then there was also the personal issues of each one of the characters. And because we have a wonderful group of actors, and our guest actors too, of course, extraordinary. Except for the year that we didn't work, it made it an extraordinary experience.
Right. Well, and I think, you know, one of the things that Star Trek has always been best at from its very inception is using science fiction, using this curiosity for space travel to tell stories that resonate in our lives, you know, the struggles that we face on a daily basis, and actually to, you know, help push society forward to a degree as well. I think it's done that a number of times over the years. This season, you have the most extraordinary challenge, because Picard discovers that he has a son. Oh, sorry. Was that a spoiler? I mean, come on. I've said it now, so...
This is one of the things I'm not allowed to say.
I've got a thumbs up over there, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Good, that was great. Okay, let me talk about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But what you get to play in that, you know, the emotion of discovering a part of your life story that you were never told is a very fascinating concept, and you seem to relish that storyline.
Oh yes, we all did. It gave a new substance to each one of the characters that we had got to know so well over those 170 some episodes. It was the character rocks on which we were building a foundation for this new series, new existence, coming to terms with our past that we had not shared, only in rather, you know, occasional ways, and all of us responded very positively to that, and of course we have fun. I mean, I have laughed more when I've been on the set of Next Generation and Picard than in any other job I've ever done. We had a deal actually at one point. I think Jonathan Frakes made it that every one of us had to come up with one big laugh every day, one joke or a witty phrase or something like that, you know, and that continued. It drove some of our directors crazy, but you know, they were directors. They should have been actors, and then they could have done it. Oh Lord! I mean, yeah, the days were very long. But I was 30 years younger then, and they were tolerable. Now I don't know whether it would be possible, because Picard has been much more of an ensemble story, and that, I think, has been one of the great strengths of it. And I certainly, as a member of an audience watching it, have enjoyed it more because of that. And having guests like Amanda Plummer, we're not allowed to talk about that. No Amanda Plummer.
No, she's been in the show.
Anyway, she's fabulous. And
Don't give any details about Amanda Plummer's role in the show. I think that's
okay. But we did have wonderful guests, of which Amanda was one. And you know, it's like being interviewed by the FBI. So
I haven't said anything. This is all coming from you.
Are you armed at the moment?
listen,
Sorry.
Listen, I do want to ask about, I mean, you've said, thank you, by the way, never say never to the idea that you may, Picard may in some form reappear, maybe, right, is what I've read. I could be wrong.
You know something?
No.
Does anybody know something?
But all of which to say that I think like what you've done here with this season is very much like put a full stop on Picard's story, and I wonder what your hope is for the family moving forward, in the sense of, you know, whether there are more adventures in this particular universe.
But I've said we are a family. We're still going to be moving forward, and moving forward together as a group.
On screen, Patrick. On screen.
Screen? I don't know. they don't tell me anything. I mean, I can't imagine what it could be. Yes, I know there has been talk about a movie based on, you know, the present day situation of the Picard series. I have no idea whether there is any truth in that.
Make it so.
Make it so.
Remember, you said that in about 5 months' time, will you please? Thank you.
Well, listen, Sir Patrick, this show is absolutely wonderful. The finale airs on Thursday. Very finally, I'd like to ask about that last day on set and what kind of went through, what the emotion was like on that last day of filming this show.
This is a difficult question. Because Next Generation, the whole day of shooting, the last day of 7 years of work, began with floods of visitors pouring onto the stage, you know, just not the studio heads and different departments and so forth, but outsiders, friends of friends were coming on stage. But as the day wore on, and it was a very long day, fewer and fewer people. So by the time, I think it was John Delancey and I got to play the last scene, there was nobody there. and when they said, and that's a wrap on Next Generation, when the assistant director called that out, people went, yeah, okay. Oh, boy. Let's go home and go to bed. And it was a little like that with Picard. But I'm sorry, I just have to boringly repeat the family side of it again, because we are a company, a group, a body, an organization, and we all love one another very, very much and enjoy each other. So it's not over, and you can't be part of this show, because even though for 20 years we didn't make Star Trek, we were away from it for a very long time. So it has held on. It's been strong, and that's a lot of people who are responsible for that. And we've been very, very, very lucky in the people that we've had running our shows and writing them and directing them and lighting them and building them. It has been extraordinary.
You and your family have given us a beautiful gift this year. Thank you, Patrick, very, very much. Put your hands together. Patrick, Stewart.
Thank you very much. This has been a great pleasure.
AMC is up next. They're here to present a panel on Dark Winds. Please welcome.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you want to support my channel, you can buy one of my graphic novels from the link below, or you can buy one of my t-shirts. And also remember to click on like and subscribe.